What's going on, my Leo Collective? Welcome to your creative energy forecast, a very general, timeless reading. So whenever this finds you, I know it's doing its thing through spirit. So each reading has had each sign as well. You've all had different meditations that that came to me while I was kayaking last week. And was it last week or the week before? I don't even know now. I was kayaking recently, and the energy came up that way. So, for the fire signs, what came up was the light refracted. Now, if you've watched the Aries and Sagittarius, you've also been treated to the very scientific drawing that I'm going to show you right now. But it's the way that I was picking up on this. The light reflected. That's new. Refracted and reflected, and the way that it changes. So if this is air here, this is water, and then it's sort of like going in, and it changes. It slows down and changes direction as it enters that sort of different element. But I'm getting from this, like, the way that I saw this was that this is like yourself or other people, and other people or yourself. Like, there's two separate energies, and then as one thing enters the other, in terms of like a thought or an emotion or an energy, it's like it changes direction and slows down, not in a downward direction, but it just changes. It's like a motion that changes. So there's like a shift in the way that the reflection of something is received. And it slows it down. So Leo got you got the speed of thought. So it's like the speed of thought slows down and shifts and changes. Aries had oh my gosh, Aries had a lot in their reading. But so too did Sagittarius. Sagittarius had this sort of like point of least comprehension is where everything is happening, which is very frustrating, especially if there are Sagittarians that have Gemini placements. But it's like this, for Aries, it was this multidimensional activation. So I find that all of the fire signs in this particular set of readings are lining up really well. So do check them out. I know these readings are long, but there's a lot. I'm getting a lot of mission activation, purpose activation. 222 is just on the time. I actually got North and South, which represent North and South node in this deck. And that was the North node came up in Sagittarius, and the South node came up in Aries. So, yeah. And just in terms of reflection, right? Like, these are mirrored energies. So anyways, it was just showing up really interestingly. So we're going to dive in here. I've already set the intention for these readings. So yours is sort of like the speed of thought slowing down or picking up. So we have ignition and fire. Yeah, this is like now we're cooking with gas. That's what I'm hearing. Interesting. Now we're cooking with gas. It's like you're ready now. You're ready to do something with this energy that perhaps you weren't before. And I just heard and look fabulous doing it, which is a very Leo thing. Yeah. East and beginnings, that came up in the Sagittarian reading. So already there's connections. So East and beginnings. And this in the Sagittarius reading, this was almost like a self from another dimension holding the light, and sort of shining a light through this portal. And I'm almost getting for you, Leo, that this was related to the Lionsgate portal. I think either this month, it's the next big energy shift or possibility of energy shift or way that we can catalyze the energy. But it's almost like this portal is opening up and you're harnessing what's coming through, because there's like this understanding now, or there's this expansion of comprehension, or it's almost coming through. I'm seeing this like light language, like there's a way that you're taking this what is just this energy, this disparate energy, and you're translating it into something, and you're able to work with it in a way that it's like a malleability to it that wasn't there before. Malleability. Both? Okay. So we have protection and cave. Protection and cave. And then we also have speaking your word and voice. Yeah. Leo, I feel like this is, if you're not a channeler or into channeling, I feel like this is a really important time for you. if you are interested in it, but you don't fancy yourself one, I feel like there's a way that you're translating all of this energy into something for the rest of us, which has a lot to do with mission. Mission just in terms of like what your purpose is and your path, right? Like, because being in feeling like you're on your path in life is really just the transformation of the energy within you and the translation of that energy into something that benefits people because you're doing what you feel you're meant to do here on this planet in this lifetime. So it's not like do this or else. It's not like you're here to do that and that's like your only thing, because you're here for more than that. You're not here to just produce for other people. You're also here to know joy. You're here to know yourself as a wonderful creator. You're here to know yourself in all of these aspects of you. Let me just close this a little bit here. But let me move this down. There we go, so that you can see more of this. But there's a way that it's like your energy is, it's almost like, think about it this way. You didn't know how to turn on Google Translate, and then you figured out how to turn it on so that as you speak, it translates it into another language altogether. And I feel like that's kind of like there's something happening energetically where that's becoming more possible for you. So it could just be that you're taking these like deep theory and putting it into something more concrete, or you're taking an abstract or you're taking something that's really granular and pulling it back to an abstract big picture. Like there's a way that you're translating the energy so that it's flowing. Oh my gosh, my cat's trying to get in the room. Give me 2 seconds. Oh my gosh, she runs me. Yes. Okay. And we're back. So the fates, yeah, this is I mean, really, like this kind of energy has been through all of the fire sign reading. The fates, this strikes me as Jupiter energy. Yeah, there's something here that like the fates are smiling down upon you, and I feel like things might work out better than what you might have anticipated with a particular project. Could be with a person in a relationship. Like it depends, right? Because for some people, relationship can feel like purpose, right? Like there's some people who feel like having a family, that's like part of their purpose, and there's nothing wrong with it at all, right? We all have different things that we're here to actualize and realize. So the Star card, and we also have the Five of Pentacles and feeling alone. I think you're kind of embracing solitude. Flow, that's Jupiter, that's the wheel. There we go. Yeah, I feel like this is the kind of liftoff. Leo, you are the liftoff point for the fire sign elements. Why wouldn't you be, my lovelies? Why wouldn't you be? Of course you would. Most people would say like Sagittarius is the one, but I feel like Leo is the one that makes it like they yeah, it's anyway. So we have the Star, Five of Pentacles, and the wheel. Nine of Cups, dreams coming true. Wow, Leo. What is happening here? Oh, my cat's coming in. I moved her backpack. Hang on. I know. I'm putting it here. Okay, you may proceed. Come on. It's fine. It's not like I'm doing a tarot reading or anything. You're good. Oh, she had her fish. She has wet food that has like really smelly fish in it, and it smells like a wharf because she ate it, and now she's just like standing here licking her chops. Oh my gosh. Whoa. So, okay, so the Star card. Spirit, can you please clarify this for me for my Leo pals? Your reading is very straightforward compared to the other signs, Leo, which is not a bad thing. Like complexity is, when it's there, I pick up on the nuance, but I feel like yours is just like it's go time. Like, I feel like it's this sense of, like, breaking free. I do feel, though, like you're embracing some way of... you might be embracing just all of the feelings that you... Like, if you're not feeling alone. I think of this Five of Pentacles in terms of, like, what precedes the Hermit, right? Like, this, you know, you're holding the lantern and going into this valley, but I almost feel like you're embracing... You're embracing the need you might have to do things on your own right now. not from a hermit place, because the hermit's not here, but I feel like there's like, it's almost like, the way I'm seeing this is, you're allowing yourself the gift of solitude and quietude. Even if you're in a relationship, like, you'll still need time to be on your own and to be in your own energy, right? Like, even, when I'm in a relationship, whatever relationship I'm in next, like, it's really important that I have that time to just be in my own energy and space. Like, it's very important. And I think that that helps. It's just so crucial. Like, it's very crucial to maintaining like separate lives that can come together in ways that aren't codependent, right? Because then you have your own compass through which to see your life. You have your own compass. And I think it's important, because then it means your partner can have their own compass too, and that helps you to stay healthy together. Because then you're two whole people coming together, right? So we have the Seven of Pentacles. Nine of Wands. I feel like you're healing from a heavy period. My cheeks are starting to go really red. Yeah, you're healing from a heavy period. And I see this Four of Pentacles as like, you might have been holding back on some things. I feel like that's why it might inform this sort of need to go within more. And to kind of like go into this, like initiate this like deliberate solitude, as opposed to feeling like you were thrown in the cold. And it's not throwing yourself in the cold. This is like, I think about this as like, I'm hearing the, I love how she's like, I'm actually the most important feature in the Leo reading. I'm a cat too. It's this sort of like intentional cold exposure, right? Like the Wim Hof method. Intentional cold exposure. So to clarify this, we have the Knight of Pentacles, the Sun, and the Queen of Swords. Yeah. Lot of clarity. And there you are, Leo, showing up in your own reading a little bit. I think of the Sun as Leo energy anyway. I'm hearing cautiously optimistic. Like, that's like, I feel like this is your energy right now, cautiously optimistic. But the wheel and the fates are here. I don't know if it's a time to be cautiously optimistic, or if it's like, if it feels okay to do so, like it's okay to just be optimistic, Leo. You can give yourself permission to do that. You can just give yourself permission to do that. So we have the Five of Pentacles, the Ten of Wands, Four of Wands, Judgment, whoa, and a whole bunch of others. Okay. I think this is how you're restabilizing your energy. Honestly, like it's like you're putting down like this frustration. Like when you get into this frustrated place, this strikes me as being like an eye. So it's almost like the eye, like it's clear sight from stability. It's clear sight from I'm hearing exactitude, but it's the way that you are able to emplace yourself in an energy that clears it. It's like it clears things, it clears the air, it helps to clarify your energy. And the Hermit is now here. And we have the Two of Pentacles, the Eight of Swords, and the Hermit, which is that kind of like going within to regain your balance, to regain your footing. Aries had a lot of butterfly metaphors and things like that. So it doesn't shock me that these are kind of coming up for you, because it's been a thread through all the fire signs. But I feel like this is like adaptability. This is the ability to mobilize. And the way I'm seeing it is like, those metal butterflies that have this tension between them that allows them to fly. It's not a literal human butterfly. It's not a living butterfly. But it's the replicas of them that have that tension in between them. And I almost feel like this is the way that you kind of needed to move away from feeling like the way that you could take flight, or the way that things in your life could take flight, was because of that tension band that would wind tightly enough to perform flight for others. Whereas now you're just understanding, and you're getting to a place of understanding flight for you. understanding flight for you. So we have the wheel. Spirit, can you clarify this for me, please? The Lovers. So Gemini coming up. I think that this is the choice. Like the Judgment card strikes me as a decision that you had to make for yourself. And then the Lovers is like, it's almost like this Venus and Neptune infused decision that brings you closer to connection with yourself and your higher self, no less. But it's also with others too. It allows you to connect much deeper to it and to yourself in the process. Okay, so I just saw, so we have the 10 of Pentacles, the 2 of Cups, the Emperor, the 8 of Pentacles, and then I had all of these come out. Oh my gosh. And then the 5 of Wands and the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, this is a lot. You almost questioned your worth in connections. You questioned your worth in relationships. The Emperor is a card of like mastering your craft, as is the 8 of Pentacles. But it's not about mastering the craft of relationships. And it's not about like the way that mastery is coming through here is it's more of a sense of value. Like it's like when you recognize what's important to you and why, that is a sense of mastery unto itself, right? And then we have the 7 of Wands, the 5 of Cups, and the 3 of Wands that kind of came out as an aside here. I'm hearing the before times. That's like what my friends and I call before COVID. This could have happened before COVID. Or sorry, 6 of Wands. You might have moved away from disappointment into new opportunities that put you in a position to be able to really work with, and I'm hearing actualize. With 9 of Cups here, there's like, you've got this wish fulfillment if you want it. This is the 8 of Cups. Yeah, it's like you've got it if you want it. But I feel like you might have to choose yourself. Like there's a way that you're walking away from disappointments. The Ace of Cups is under there. It's like you're moving away from disappointment, but it's not disappointment that, oh, there's the Empress. Wow. So the Emperor and Empress are here. If this is about relationship for you, if you're coming here with that, the Emperor and the Empress are counterpart energy. So that's here. We have the Page of Pentacles, the Death card, and the Empress. So they're all here. And I love that this energy, so I love that the Empress is like a kind of tree unto itself. Like there's the Emperor and then the Empress. Like it's a variation of Arbor energy. So this Page of Pentacles, Death, and the Empress, it's like, it's almost like the transformation that you've gone through here. Again, it's like this actualizing energy. That's what the Empress is showing up as, right? Because the Emperor is like the activating energy, but I feel like actualizing, it takes some reflection and receptivity as well. The Page of Pentacles, Death, and the Empress. On the Ace of Cups, the Tower, and the 8 of Cups. It's moving away from things that don't serve you on the one hand, my lovely Leos. But, oh, that was at the bottom. What wanted to come out? That's the 7 of Wands. Yeah, it's like advocating for what's most important to you at the outset, yes. But within this here, I feel like you might feel like you have to kind of defend your dreams. You might feel like you kind of have to defend what you want. And you may feel a bit like in a Page energy where you're like, well, I'm still learning about what I want. So can I really ask for what I want? If I know, but there are ways that, because like what you want is going to evolve and change as you, like what you fundamentally want, like the big things that you value are the things that won't necessarily shift. The details of what you value might. So that's where you might feel like you're in this Page energy where you almost have to ask permission to just want these things, because if you were to look at your past through the lens of people saying like, I've heard it as like stick-to-itiveness and all of this stuff, like it's not, it's more about how well are you listening to and integrating your own knowledge and understanding. How are you listening to that and allowing that to be this catalytic lightning bolt that's like activates energy for you? because it's like you're harnessing this energy. You are harnessing it. This is passion. This is like your, the fire and wands represent passionate energy. And I think the tower represents a sort of, it's like this, I'm hearing directional impulse. It's like this way that it sort of turns it in a specific direction and transforms the element of it that was not passionate, or um, that lacked that energy. But part of the reason why speaking the word, like you might be inclined to feel, or speaking your word, you might be inclined. This also looks like a COVID thing, but it's like you may be inclined to hide a little bit. This is protection and cave. Like you may feel like your truth is not worth speaking, but it's really important that you do. Like it's important. Don't feel like you have to defend your dreams with this Seven of Wands here. I'm thinking about, there's a George Bernard Shaw quote that talks about like, within us there's a candle and I intend to let it burn brightly. There's a particular quote like burn brightly in George Shaw. If you look up that quote, you'll probably see it. Um, that's what's coming to mind when I look at this, and just the way that like we all have a candle within us, and like how are we actualizing our fire? How are we utilizing our fire? How are we turning that into something for more than just us? Shining a light for others, possibly. That could be part of your dream, but you may feel like you have to defend your dreams or be like defensive about them and advocate for yourself. But that's part of the Empress energy, is that it's almost like you're integrating more receptivity and feeling less like you have to defend, because defensive energy suggests that there's something that's so real about it that you need to defend it. There's something that's so it's like not challenging about it, but like I'm hearing Walking on Broken Glass by Annie Lennox with this particular card. You might feel like that's what you have to like tiptoe or walk on eggshells, but you don't need to, because it's like when it comes to your dreams, and no one period should ever make you feel like you're walking on eggshells. Just no. That's like if that happens, like you have anyway. Um I'm not a fire sign, but let me tell you, there's a lot of fire in my chart. But it's like it's so my tolerance of BS like that is low. Not that that's a fire sign thing, but it's just like my intensity about it is a thing. Um, yeah, it's here if you want it. Like these things are here if you want them, but you have to want them too, right? You have to want them. It's not that you don't want them. It's that you have to want them even through the possibility of change, because healing is here with the star card. And I think it's like I'm hearing like a reset, like there's some kind of reset button. So, yeah, let's pull from this deck here. Building and atoms and comfort and hearth. This one's actually a really interesting card. So building and atoms, and then we have comfort and hearth. And I almost feel like maybe a kind of, this is further to the going within point. You might feel like this is a time where you need, it's not so much rest, but I feel like you might need to go within more. I could be speaking to a Leo who's in like the tail end of a hermit phase, because I see a lot of expansion. Um, I'm seeing maybe, yeah, like I'm seeing a lot of expansion here. I'm hearing the song I'll Keep You Safe by Sleeping at Last. Like you're collecting these parts of yourself, like this hermit journey, right? Like this is like rebuilding, and it's like taking these thoughts, and I'm seeing the movie Inside Out. No, is it Inside Out? No, it's not Inside Out. It's Soul, where they're on that journey in the kind of like where where I don't know, like these parts of our passionate selves disappear to and become something else. And it's like you're going into this kind of like not underworld, but like underbelly of your, it's your subconscious. And it's like you're finding this light within you again, and you're collecting what it's almost like you had. And then it's like somebody, I'm envisioning someone, taking your hand and just smacking your hand that was full of this light, and they just scatter. And then it's like they scatter, and that's where it's like it's like a coming back to collect all of these scattered pieces. But I feel like you've done that already, and I feel like that might be why you were kind of focused more on the home. You were focused more on being at home, or I don't know. There's a lot of inward directed energy, but then there's also this expanded energy outwards. Let me pull from the postcards from Spirit Deck and see where this takes us to close this reading off. Whatever is happening for you right now, Leo, I am getting a sense of this like ignition. Like it's like you're lighting the ignition and it's taking off. Something's taking off. And I feel like you're more protected than you understand. Well, that one wanted to come out. Okay. So this says, live your dreams. There's a little rabbit on there, which tends to be a sign of luck. Okay, dearest you, isn't it amazing how things seem to come around again full circle in ways you could not possibly have planned? You wonder how a dream could die only to be resurrected years later when you're ready. You thought it was time back then, but your wisdom knows better than your small self whose desires are unmet. Now here you are with a new opportunity to do things from a different, more mature perspective. We want you to trust that in this new opportunity for rebirth, you will be called in two directions, and the one that is unfamiliar will be the right one. In the unknown spaces, the uncharted places, which I'm getting with this here actually, of infinite potential, we are waiting to guide you into your fullest life. Big bounty will come if you remain in the present. You have come full circle, and now you can see that everything changes, is made new, and is given new hope. Loving you always. Yeah. Big time. Big time. But I think it's important to know that the ignition is here. Like, whatever this is for, like the ignition, like you're turning the key. You are the key. You are the key, and I feel like you're in the ignition and ready. So, Leo, that was your reading. That's what I have for you. If this resonated, please give it a like and subscribe. I'd love to have you on the channel if you're not here with me already. If you are from my subscriber base, though, thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate you and that you're watching, so thank you for that. There are other ways you can connect with me on the channel, so as always, check that out. But if this is where we part, I hope that wherever this finds you on the time-space continuum, morning, afternoon, or night, I hope that it finds you very well, my friends. Take care.